recording stuff. Okay. I don't know who that is, but we'll figure it out. Ooh, somebody new.
Hey,
SUS, who is that?
it's Beverly.
Oh, what's the OSSUS? Oh, that's
Oh,
something
my
that works
name.
for.
I'm like, what the? Hold on, let me fix that. I'm like, what's
Richardson,
going on
right?
here?
Beverly Richardson. Yay.
What's going on with the
Signing
name?
up. Yes. Oh, I have to update my slide. Okay, my slide doesn't have your name on it yet. Okay, we're up to 28. Yes. Okay. Official agenda. Hang on. I'm just going to pop up this screen if I can remember how to do the share. I'm always doing something wrong with that, but let's see.
Yeah, that's the name of my iPad. What the? Let me.
Whose iPad is that?
Okay, I think this. Somebody tell me if you see my screen.
Yes.
I
Okay,
do.
good.
Definitely.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, we learned all this during the pandemic, but I keep forgetting how to do certain things. So anyway,
I just want to ask, can I be heard?
sure.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good, because I've been having issues with my microphone.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, we definitely hear you.
Okay.
Just a very brief, I wanted to have an agenda just so it doesn't seem totally random here. And now I can't see the agenda, which is even more annoying. So let me pop over there. Get to my agenda. Too many windows open. Why am I not seeing this? All right. We definitely are moving forward. So for those who are new to the conversation, we had a deadline of October 1st to pay a certain down payment for the venue. And obviously, if we weren't going to get the money together for the down payment, I was even more concerned that we won't get that money together for the actual event. We have more money than we needed for the down payment. So we're making that down payment. We're up to, let's see if I can get this to work properly. What is my screen?
You have 27 attendees paid up on the screen.
27 attendees, yes. Why is this not showing up? I'm not sure why this won't show up properly, and I think Beverly, you just paid up, so you were actually 28, which is great. And we just wanted to touch base with you about other activities. So our event is on Saturday. It's the afternoon, it'll go into the evening, I'm sure. There is a weekend baseball series between the Yankees and the Mets, which is not sure what the times of the games are. And once we figure that out, we'll send out a broadcast to everybody who we have an email address for and say, whether we can get a group together that want to go, or if you just want to have that information for your own purposes, make sure to get that out to you. There was some discussion about maybe finding a place to meet up on the Friday night if people are coming in from out of town and want to connect, or do something on Sunday together. We just want to get a feel for whether, you're making other plans or you're just coming in for the event and then going home. And if we should come up with some ideas to organize it. One of the other things is hopefully we can arrange some sort of a tour of the high school. There's been a lot of changes there. Might be a security issue, might not be able to open the building on the weekend, but we'll find out as we get closer. They wouldn't commit to anything to us just yet. School security is a hot topic everywhere, right? So we definitely don't want to stress them out unnecessarily. If that's not an option, it's not an option, If there are any other ideas, let us know. We're also going to be looking into some lodging recommendations. Again, too soon, but by the first of the year, we want to make sure we get you information if somebody needs a hotel. There are a couple of hotels that are within, 3-4 miles of the venue. If people want to stay with family and friends, of course, that's probably even easier for them. But, some people do need a reservation somewhere. So we'll find out. And if there's enough of a volume, we'll try to get a volume discount, but I don't know that we will. I don't know if we'll have that need to have something like that. So that's all I have on the agenda. We continue to work. Let me see if we can unshare this thing. There we go. We continue to work on finding people. And we had a great session on Wednesday with Thomas Finlayson, who told us that he had done a mini reunion of his own in 2011 obviously I wasn't invited. I would have known that. But he had like 29. I just jotted down all the names from his video. He sent me a little PowerPoint slide of the photos that they took after the event. We had about 30 people at this event. So we're going to rein those guys in and see if we can get them to this event. And that just, continues to broaden how many people we can find and get the word out to. So just keep talking to people. My number is wide open. Just give them my number, 516-578-6861. I'll put it in the chat. It's, I'm happy to take calls from anybody and everyone. And some people are not on Facebook. I'm posting stuff on classmates.com. I put it out on LinkedIn once in a while, which is a little different kind of a website. It's more professional business networking, but what the heck, And I think somebody's putting it on Instagram. I'm not really savvy there, but every once in a while I'll put something up there just to remind people we're here. And, I'm counting on all of you. And we found Cheryl. First time we've had Cheryl on the call. So this is great.
Beverly found me.
Beverly, Beverly knows everybody. Yeah,
Good for you, Beverly.
that's so cool.
Hey, I've been trying to kick indoors, making phone calls and sending
Yeah.
emails, and
Sure.
I hit
Yeah.
Cheryl because I actually talked to Kim, and she said
Right.
she was talking to you. I said, oh, okay,
Right.
let me get with that.
Yeah.
So,
That's
yeah.
great. But at this point, if there's no questions about the agenda and the details, and let me know if you know anyone who I could just mail an invitation to. I can do paper mail. Obviously, we can do email. There's a link that for the filling out the registration form, which some people have done and some people haven't, even if they've paid already. But we'll track you down as we get closer because we want to
One of the questions I got, which
Sure.
I found weird in 2024, is somebody wants to send a check.
I'm taking checks.
I was like, I don't even have a checking account. I mean a checkbook. I don't even know how to.
Listen, I take Zelle, I take PayPal, not PayPal,
Venmo.
Zelle, check, Venmo, whatever is easier.
Yeah, they don't do
drop
the
cash.
electronic thing.
You can come to my house and give me cash if that's your way.
No
some people-
rolled coins though, Monica.
No
right?
rolled coins,
No
yes.
rolled coins, yeah.
We don't need quarters anymore for the meters, Yeah, any which way that's comfortable for them, that's no problem.
Okay.
I've gotten, actually probably half of them are checks and half of them are Zelly, so whatever works for them. Yeah, we just
I'm
send
like
it.
a check.
I have no problem, Beverly, saying that this retired banker still uses checks.
I do not use a check.
I
don't
use
even-
checks when I don't want them
fact,
to
the
email
bank-
me. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
bank actually told me because I only used Zelle once, they were discontinuing it from my ability to use it.
It's a little
No.
strange.
And I
Yeah.
retired from that bank.
No.
I think the last checkbook I had was probably about 10 years ago, and I
Oh, wow.
found it by accident. So I hadn't been using it.
Hopefully there was money in the account.
No, I still had the account. It just was, I didn't use the check. So I was
Yeah.
like, I can pay this online. What do I need a check for?
I strictly use currency, checks, or plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
do credit cards.
No crypto?
credit cards.
Oh, I
So
still don't even understand what that is.
So we're going to mix things up a little bit. My screen, I have Beverly in my bottom right corner. So I'm going to work across and backwards instead of usually top to the bottom, because sometimes the bottom people feel like they're left out. So Beverly, you get to go first. Just give us a quick update of where you are. Cindy hasn't been on the call yet and doesn't know anything about you. So take it away, Beverly.
Sure. Currently living in Austell, Georgia, which is outside of Atlanta by, I don't know, about 15 minutes. I moved here about 10 years ago. I don't like Georgia, but the house I got, I can't get anywhere else for the price I got it for.
Hmm.
So, I'm a
Timing is
grand-
everything, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Market's crazy. Yeah.
I have two beautiful grandsons that I love very much. I have two dogs. I do everything in twos. I have two daughters.
I like the sequence, the dog, the grandsons, the dogs, and then the daughters.
So I have, I'm still working. I work in IT security or cyber security, whatever. And my manager told me last week, I was not allowed to retire. And I asked
That's a
him
job for life.
why.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he said, well, you have experiencing things that these young people have no clue about, and I need that information.
Yep.
I said, well, if I could do like a Vulcan transfer of that information, can I retire?
Yeah.
Vulcan mind lock, yeah.
This is like the third manager that's told me that I was not allowed to retire. So I'm still working. My mother, the 92-year-old toddler, she's living with me.
Mm.
Wow.
It's a challenge. So, she has a whole list of health problems, and on top of that, dementia. And so it's a challenge. I don't day drink, but I could.
Oh my gosh. I think a lot of us share some of those common challenges,
Yeah.
and somehow we get through it, right? So
Yeah, you
you've
have
got
no
the right
choice.
attitude, She's
What
positive.
are the options, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Great. Mitchell, talk to us. Yeah.
I'm currently we just started up the fall session of the writing workshop that I teach through the UFT. And I'm also tutoring at a Huntington Learning Center in Manhasset, where for some reason they insist on giving a high school teacher elementary school kids.
Ooh.
And I keep trying to tell them, like, for instance, one kid I was working with, he's supposed to be working on phonics. I'm not properly trained to teach phonics. But most of the time they give me the SAT students to prepare for that exam.
Nice.
Which is interesting now that they went all digital. I have a 30, hold on, I got to think about this a minute. A 36-year-old daughter who's working for a fashion company that makes accessories for women and girls, and a 32-year-old son, Jordan, my daughter's name is Danielle, and a 32-year-old son, Jordan, who was in the IT industry, which sometimes when things go wrong with my computers can be a big help. We're living in Howard Beach. I'm very active. Unfortunately, I can't seem to get off the co-op's board of directors.
They need you.
And in fact, I also wanted to step down from the board of directors on my synagogue, but the rabbi talked me out of it.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
What do they say? If you want something done, give it to a busy person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And somewhere in there, I managed to find time to keep my nose buried in my books and my writing.
And you're right. And thanks for posting your poetry. I love seeing where your mind is, and whenever you post something, it's great.
Yeah. Actually, I had a nice little chat with Wesley Moy.
Oh, great.
Because because of that poem, the neglected guitar that I posted.
You never know how you're going to touch someone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great. Okay, Denise.
Okay. Well, I'm still living in Queens, never got out of here. My mom is still in Queens Village. She's 95, ornery as ever. Lives by herself, would not live with anybody else. I have a son. He's 38. He teaches at Vaughan College. He is an author. He has 2 books. He's also an accomplished artist. He has a picture in the Cleveland Museum of Natural History in the main hall in the dinosaur exhibit. He has one in Canada. He has one in a museum in China. I have a book coming out in October, my first children's book.
Right.
I posted all up on the Facebook page there that you have. So everybody check it out in October. It's called Jacob Gets Organized, about a child with executive functioning disorder. It's after my son because he suffers with that. So that's what I've been doing since I retired from the Board of Ed, which I was a teacher and then a speech therapist for 40 years. Oh God, I can't believe it was 40 years.
I can't believe we're going to have a 50th anniversary.
I know. It's like,
Yeah.
and I spend my time doing that and taking care of my husband. He has cancer, so it's been a full thing. That and my mom, and it's been a full thing, like you said. Beverly knows.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing. Yeah.
And Denise's last name is Carbone. If you're looking in your yearbook, that's where her high school name, right?
Yeah.
So connecting the dots. Okay, now we're gonna hear from, if you're good, Denise, I'm gonna
Yep, I'm good.
let's hear from Cindy. We have been trying to talk to Cindy forever.
All right. Well, I guess I live the furthest away from everybody.
Yep.
I live in Israel. I've been in Israel since 1977. I came here to visit a friend of mine for a couple of weeks and fell in love with the country. And I was studying at Stony Brook at the time, and then I come back here during the summer for a semester. I went back home and I called my father from the airport and I said, Dad, I want to go back to Israel. I went out to Stony Brook and became a transfer student. And then I met my husband. And a year later, I got married. 2 years later, I had my first son. He's 45 now, Danny.
Wow.
And I have a daughter that's 42 and she's a speech therapist. And my little one was living in New York for 7 years, Michael. He's a civil engineer and he just came back 2 years ago to Israel. And he has I have 7 grandchildren, 6 granddaughters and 1 grandson. Today I volunteer with the Organization for the Health of the Liver here in Israel. I have support groups for many rare diseases and things like that, and for liver cancer. And I'm also involved in our European Liver Patients Association, where I'm in charge of all the rare liver diseases there. So I'm very busy with all of these things. And it has a lot to do with my health problems. Obviously, people don't go into things like this when you don't have health problems.
Yeah.
And I work with a lot of people that are transplanted, and that's why I can relate to Jay with his problems. We've had a very difficult year, to say the least. I don't want to bug any of you or bother any of you. If any you'd rather not hear about it, I won't talk about it. My husband's a colonel in the reserves here. He celebrated his 70th birthday during the war, and he's going to celebrate his 71st birthday in the Army too, apparently. And my son is, my 45-year-old son has been in the Army since day one, since the 7th of October. He's a captain in the paratroopers here. And my son-in-law also is in the Army most of the time. My maiden name was Schenker. If somebody asked that on the chat. And I don't know what else to tell you guys, really. There's a lot to tell. And, you know, if anybody's interested, you could just ask questions, because I a lot, because with the people that I work with in the States and everywhere else, I organize a global awareness days for different rare diseases of the liver too. So I'm on Zoom with people from all over the world all the time. And that's it, really. I guess if you have any questions, you can ask freely and I'll answer.
I actually have a question. With your husband and sons in the service, are they away from the home now? Are they at least living?
My oldest was down south for most of the time. He comes home from time to time. My son-in-law, it depends on where he is and when he is. And my husband, if he goes and he has to, and he goes and he can be away for a bit, but he's home now. But, you know, he'll go away for like 2 days this week to be with his unit, you know, to be with the soldiers in his unit. He's he's a commander in a brigade. So, you know, he doesn't have to be there all the time, but he has to be there when he has to be.
Yeah.
And it's been a difficult year with everything, with my granddaughters and my grandchildren. You know, we had a difficult few months in the beginning of the war. And I think it's going to get difficult again, too. So right now. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. So this is the
You
way
are
it is.
always
Nobody
very
wants
good.
this war.
Yeah.
And we just really, we need to get the hostages home. We need to get the people back to their homes. You know, the northern part of the country is destroyed. I don't think people in the world really see this, hear the different things. They don't see the damage. I think 70% of the people living up north don't have homes to go back to. And the same thing down south. You know, it's horrible. And nobody wanted this. We didn't start it. And we have to figure out a way to get out of it and to finish it, and for everybody else to have their normal lives everywhere. You know, so, you know, we work with people from we have the organizations that work with the Arab culture and, you know, and things like this. And we work together all the time. And it's very sad about what's going on. Nobody wants anybody killed. But once again, we didn't start it. I don't know how much you guys see on the news, but what happened up north when we were able to stop something that would have been even much, much, much worse than what happened down south if we didn't do what we did last week. And they were planning to do something very similar up north and would have been a disaster. So I think I said enough, right?
I know, I don't want to upset you either. You know.
No, I'm not upset.
And we
It's-
usually don't talk about anything with politics, but it's so important because we
I'd like
need
for people to
connect with you
understand.
forever. Yeah.
I think,
so.
I wish people could understand. I just, I'm sure people here, I have a friend he was a friend that I worked with all the time in Scotland. And he was a dear friend. He had come here and we did conferences in all the different medical centers here within a week. And I found out how terrible he is as a human being during the war. And I said to him, don't tell me these things. He told me these things didn't happen. And I said, don't tell me. My husband had to send soldiers to go pick up body parts after they were massacred.
Yeah.
So don't tell me it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And then I realized we don't have anything to talk about anymore, just to work together, because we
Yeah.
have to work together. So
We're
I'm
saying
sorry
prayers
I'm
for
sorry,
everybody.
but-
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's,
If
you
I
know,
could
I
just
think I can
briefly
speak for all
inter-
of us. We're all saying
It's-
prayers for you. Yeah.
if I
It's
could
just
briefly interject.
amazing how they don't talk about it. And it's always what I hear, they're always blaming Israel. They don't condemn what's happened, or they
Okay.
mention it slightly. But thank you, I'm finished.
I was just gonna say, I have a friend who's very active in his ashram, and he keeps blowing up my phone on WhatsApp with what's going on in India, how similar it is to what's going on in Israel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a tough time. I hope you can come to New York and maybe see your family.
I'm actually
Yeah.
going to not Los Angeles, to Phoenix for a conference in October, hopefully. My son says I shouldn't plan on it because he doesn't think I'll be able to go. But I'm hoping to go. I'm, planning to do it for work, and it's an important thing for me.
Right.
And I volunteer. I don't get paid for what I'm doing. But doing the things I'm doing, I'm really, it gives me a lot of satisfaction in helping people survive.
Absolutely.
So, that's what I do with my life. Karen, did you want to say something?
Yes, so there are two really interesting things that I think a lot of other people would be interested in. First of all, firsthand experience in Israel, but secondly, the liver disease work you're working on. Do you think you could post something on the Facebook page and just say, here's my contact information, or, maybe we'll set up a chat like in a month from now, and anybody want to join?
If I'm on Facebook, you can find me as Cindy Weinbaum. Anybody
Okay.
can contact me if I can help. I help people in the States. A lot of the time, I have people in the States that help me. There's this woman that does statistics about where it's good to get a transplant and things like that, because she knows what the best places in the States are. And like here, we don't do transplants with people that have bile duct cancer. We just can't do it. It's the Mayo protocol. And she could tell me where they had the most transplants and where they shouldn't go and things like this. And, this is what we do. So, and there's so much, even if you talk about fatty liver disease, 30% of people, mostly in America too, more so even I think, have fatty liver disease. And they don't understand how dangerous it is. We do a lot of things where we do videos for people in the school system and things like that. Because I believe that if we educate the children to eat properly, they're going to be healthy adults, and they're going to teach their parents that eat unhealthy to eat healthier. So, this is something that I work on. We did a really animated video that was fantastic for them in the school system. And it's something, that's what so that's what I do. So I work in all the different things, except for hepatitis, somebody else takes care of all of that because, it's a little too much for me. But yeah, Karen, you're welcome to message me. And if I can help in any way, if there's anything, I've got a lot of knowledge. I've been doing this since 2009. And
Thank you. Appreciate
Cindy,
that.
could you put your name in the chat? Because I don't know how to spell
Sure.
your full name and your high school name, so we could find you in the yearbook and everything.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
okay.
Great.
Okay,
I'm gonna move
Cheryl.
on to Cheryl. Cheryl, are you sitting in the
Okay.
car? You're in the car.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sitting in the church parking lot because
Oh, I was gonna say, don't be driving. Yeah, okay, good.
No. It's a 3 hour difference out here, so it's early. It's 9:30, so I'm
Oh,
good.
okay, good, good.
Yeah,
Welcome.
thank you. Well, let's see. I was Cheryl Mosley when I was at high school.
That's why I can't find you. Okay, good.
That's
Okay.
why you can't find me.
Gotcha.
My name is Glover now.
Great. Mhm.
Been married 32 years to a 100% disabled retired veteran of the Air Force. And
Looking for us for his service, yes.
yes, I retired. I'm a federal employee, retired. I'm a veteran too. So I combined my veteran service with the post office and was able to get out 6 years ago when we retired together. Since then, just trying to stay alive and stay healthy with all the stuff that's going on, making sure the VA takes care of us. When we're not doing that, we love to travel. We like to do cultural events. We love to host. I'm very active in my church. I serve on bereavement teams, so I help families and feed them and stuff. I love to cook. I think I'm a pretty good cook, and the people like to come and eat, so I'm happy with that. He's from Tennessee. Of course, I'm from Queens. We like California. We like the weather. So with arthritis and all this crap we got going on, we're going to stay out here. Pretty expensive out here. But sometimes we contemplate, leaving or moving, but we got good doctor care. So I like my doctor. So we're going to stay here. You kind of need that stuff when you get old, So yeah.
Tell me about it, yes.
Oh boy, that is the truth.
Life is good. I mean, I can't complain, it's a survival with everything. I guess the thing that goes on out here, we get a lot of fires and we get earthquakes, and both of those are real scary. This last one that been on the news was a couple of miles from my house, and so a couple of friends had to evacuate. This time I didn't, but I had to do that before. But I'm just trying to enjoy life. I got a bucket list of stuff I want to do, so we'll see if I'm able to do that. But I haven't been home. Probably been 15 years since I had a cousin get married. I don't really have anybody there, so I will be in a hotel.
Okay.
I think the idea of the baseball game is great. I would love to go see the Yankees and the Dodgers and that type of stuff.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to just coming back.
Yeah.
And seeing
I would
the
love
school,
to
because
see
I can't even remember I remember the classes I took and some of the stuff that I really liked, but I don't remember the teacher's name or anything.
Do you still have a yearbook?
I don't have one.
Mm.
I don't have a yearbook, so.
Yeah.
Classmates has a reprint that you can pick up.
Who has a reprint?
Classmates.
Classmates.com.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we can order a yearbook. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine been lost for about 40 years.
Let me know
Oh,
if
you
you
don't have
need
one?
one.
Yeah.
I might be able to, because if you're not a member of Classmates, I don't know, Jay, if you could do it as without paying for the membership, but if you're paying for the membership and you
I don't know.
if you want
over.
me to
There it
order it
is.
for you, I can get it for you. I can always try
Yeah.
to-
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Get your picture, Cheryl.
That's
Those pictures are
Oh, there
ugly.
you
I
go.
hate that picture. Oh my God, that's me though. They made me look like an animal, man.
Yeah, they those pictures were terrible.
Those pictures
Oh
were
my God.
terrible.
They were
Yes.
terrible.
But yeah,
You were
but
on
that's
the
it.
track
But
team.
huh?
You were on the track team, and I was on the track team. I did hurdles for some stupid reason.
I remember
could
doing
see me
shot
trying to
put,
do-
which was like a
Trying to
disaster.
do some
Yeah.
track these days. I got to try to still walk these days. But life is good, and it's good, and it's good to laugh, and it's good to meet you guys.
I'm so glad you joined us. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. We will see
That's
you in
about
New
it.
York. You have to come. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
ma'am,
we're
I'm
working on it. We're working
Yeah.
on it. We're working
That's
on it.
good. That's good.
I'm pushing a lot of people.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Karen, you're up.
As a Jet fan, I want to know if Cheryl's related to CJ Mosley from the Jets.
Jets.
Any
No.
chance? Ask your husband. Yeah.
Well, they always
That's her
ask
maiden
him if
name.
he's
That's her
related to
maiden name.
Danny Glover because our last name is
Oh.
Glover. But
Oh
no, we don't
you
have
know
no
those.
famous
Yeah.
people in the family. Not that I know of, anyway.
You
No,
never know. You never know.
you never know. Mm-mm.
So, in case you haven't figured it out, I'm Karen Altman Waslow, Monica's sister. I live on the pretty far out on the North Fork of Long Island. I did raise my family in Valley Stream. So I make the 80-mile trek back and forth to Monica's house anytime I do stuff in Nassau County. But I also spend a lot of time in Carlsbad, California, because my children both live in San Diego, and now we have 2 grandchildren. And frankly, the grandchildren put me over the edge. It's like, I got to spend more time in California.
They do.
I can survive without the children, but those grandkids.
I made my daughter move from Maryland to Georgia because of my grandson.
Yeah,
I was like, you can stay in Maryland.
Bring them babies.
I guess
If you can have grandchildren first, that would be great. But it doesn't work like that. You know,
Actually, being older and thinking about raising, 4-month-olds and 3-year-olds,
Oh, no.
I am very happy to be just the grandma and give it
Yeah.
back, give
Yeah.
the children back at some
Yeah.
point.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I'll
They come
make
in-
I'll make it, but I need to go home and sleep in my own
I
bed.
always
No
say,
children.
I'm not
Tell me about it.
responsible. I'm a grandparent. I'm fun.
Well, listen, I'm an aunt. It's fun being the aunt.
That's
you know?
fun. I'm the fun. I'm fun. You come to have fun and you go home.
That's right.
I guess I'm lucky though, because my daughter lives next door to me. And
Oh,
my oldest son lives like about 5 minutes from me. And my other son, when he came back from living in Hoboken for 7 years, he lives 15 minutes away from me here in Herzliya, so it's very easy.
Yeah,
But sometimes you just don't want to take care of them anymore. You
yeah.
know,
They
and
got
it's
to
really
go
hard.
home.
It's
They
hard.
have to have a home. My
Yeah.
daughter lives 10 minutes away.
You
And
are
I look
good.
at my
They have a
oldest
home, but
grandson gets off the school bus up here and comes to the house, and I'm
Aw.
on the clock. You got to go home soon.
My kids come straight from school, they come to grandma. That's what they like to do. They don't know if they have a different home. So
I'm
But-
fun. He comes home and gets donuts and juice, and he
Aw.
runs around the backyard with the dog, and then I'm like,
Aw.
"Where's your mother? Where's your mother? Your mother got to come get you. Call your mother.
Oh, my
Tell her come get you."
Yeah. Karen, anything else? That's it.
No, I worked in procurement and purchasing. I worked at Stony Brook at the end of my career and retired in 20.
tell me something. Can I ask you a question?
Mhm.
Do you have any connections with the registrar in Stony Brook? I have to get in touch with them today.
I
I'm
can
trying
look
to-
up a phone number if you're looking for something like that.
Yeah, I have to get my transcript from Stony Brook because I'm getting my granddaughter her American citizenship. She gets it through me,
Mhm.
and I need the transcript from when I went to school there, and I have no idea how to get in touch with the people that could do it for me like really fast.
So you're talking like 1975 to 1979? It's
78. I graduated in
78.
78. Yeah.
Okay. I'll look it up and see if I can find somebody who I actually know that person. I was only there for 7 years, and you know how big a place it is. So
Yeah, that came up today. The lawyer said to me, you need your transcript. It's not enough to have your diploma because you have to prove that I lived in the United States for at least 5 years. I lived in the United States for 19, but that doesn't
Yeah.
help. I don't have any proof of it. So, and she has to get it before March. She'll
What
be
about your
18 March.
transcript from Van Buren? Does that
I don't have that either, and I don't know how to get it because I don't have anybody that lives in New York anymore.
You can't. They don't have them. I tried.
They don't
About-
have?
Yeah, I tried about 4 years. I was going for a clearance, and they were like, "Oh, we need your high school transcript." And I'm like, "Okay." So I called Albany, and they were like, "We don't have those records anymore." So
Oh, wow.
they destroyed them.
7 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
But she said Stony Brook definitely has it. That's the lawyer said. She's an American lawyer, so I hope she's right. Oy,
We'll see what we can do to help. Yeah, yeah.
great. I'm glad I thought about that. When I heard Stony Brook, I said, wait a minute. All right.
Great. I'm going to move over to Laura, who's got something in the camera. Wait. Laura. Oh, what do you got? You got a picture of?
That's my older son, the beta version, and his oldest.
No.
Mm.
Let me go and get the second one.
Okay.
Won't take long. It's just at the other end of the roll here. Oh, the next one.
Nice mustache.
He has occasionally gone far-row on us and twiddled with the tips of it.
Oh,
See if I
gosh.
can find that. Yeah. Yeah, here we go.
Oh, my.
Wow.
Oh, my.
That was fun.
Karen just texted me something about the Office of the Registrar at Stony Brook.
I'm gonna
Karen,
try to find a name though, so.
okay, so you
I'm
got
working
that
on
far.
it,
Good,
yeah.
good. So Laura, give us an update on the weather in South Dakota. Colder than here.
It's not cold.
No, it's too early for that. That still looks green. It's a good
Yeah.
sign.
Okay, that's the
That's
round cat.
Mhm.
But the sunflowers are done. I'm waiting for the squirrels to climb up the stalks and make off with the actual seed heads,
Mm.
because that's what they do. And I'll tell you, there's nothing funnier than watching squirrels do that.
Especially
you
as it's
see-
weighing back. and
As you
forth.
see the sunflowers themselves going across the driveway apron and all of that stuff.
Mm.
But it actually hit the high 40s last night. It was a delightful change.
We can wait for
I
that.
don't do summer.
Right, Jay? We can wait for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We don't have to have 100, but we don't have to hear 40 yet.
I'll take winter every time.
I know, that's your thing. Yep.
Got to be able to get cool.
Yeah,
And if you can't get cool any other way, well, there it is.
great.
So,
Anything else?
not really.
Okay, I'm up next. So I'm in the screenshot. I live in Long Island. I worked for JP Morgan Chase for 23 years, which Jay and I did not know each other from Chase, but he was there too on the tech side. And I know what you were saying, Beverly, about being the one who knows how to do things, because we had guys there who, went through every iteration of technology from the 70s on. And that institutional knowledge of like, how did we get things done back then? Why did we do it the way we did? Why are we where we are today? It's all getting lost because people are changing jobs. The younger generation, they just change jobs every couple of years so they can make more money. But meanwhile, that knowledge is gone, and maybe it's not valued by the companies. I don't know. That's a whole other conversation, but we were loyal. We stuck it out. We went through the ups and the downs, and I had a great experience there. But then almost 20 years ago, in 2005, I left. I managed to finagle a package, and I became a real estate agent because I guess I have real estate in the blood, and I'm starting to feel like I'm ready to end that career choice. But I'm actually taking time off right now because 4 weeks ago I had a total hip replacement of my left hip, and it's amazing how much less pain I have. Amazing. I was afraid to do it. Now I'm glad I did it. Wish I'd done it sooner. Karen came and took care of me for the first week, and I've been doing all kinds of stuff since then, a lot of PT, because I plan on dancing at the reunion. I want to go down, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do what's that dance where you're really on the floor? I'm not sure I'm going that far down, but I'm going to be moving. So
No break dancing?
what's that?
No
break-
break dancing?
No, I don't think I knew how to do it then, but I'm pretty good at a little disco here and there, so.
Question, are you going to have a band?
We're going to have a DJ, and one of the things on
DJ.
the registration form is to say what was your favorite music, band, song, something, because I want the DJ to say, hey, Cheryl's favorite song back in the day was, and play it, so we'll have a little fun with it. I don't want it to be all rock and roll. I don't want it all to be all disco or country or folk music. We're going to mix it up, so it'll be kind of fun. Yeah. And I'm loving doing this because even though I haven't thought about this in 50 years either, like most of us, it's really been great connecting and finding faces.
Yeah.
I mean, we stayed in touch with a few, but you all, I would never have thought to reach out to you if we weren't doing this. And the 50th is a big deal. We may not do more again after that. We haven't done one since the 25th, which is a long time not to have a reunion. So we need to do this. We need to see each other before we can't travel or, before we lose people. And we have lost people. If you know
Mhm.
someone from high school that has passed away, let us
Cindy
know. We're
Schreibman.
putting a
Did,
memorial page
Did,
together.
did Thomas give you the people that we know that passed away? He
He
talked
mentioned
about a couple of them.
Eric Martin, but I
Eric
couldn't.
Martin,
Yeah.
Albert Tubbs, Carl Daniels.
Cindy
Carl.
Schreibman.
Okay, you know what? Let's take that offline, but definitely I want to get those names because
Yeah.
we want to honor them. And unfortunately,
Mhm.
some of the mailings I've done, they've come back from the spouse saying, the classmate is passed. So we don't want to forget them,
Right. So on your note in IT, what they're doing is they eliminate all the basics that we learn, like BASIC and Fortran and stuff like that,
COBOL, yep.
binaries, and they took all of that out and they go, this is how it works. I did an interview the other day for a guy that, he's got this master's degree in cybersecurity. I have a master's in cybersecurity. I said, well, shit, I've been doing this for 30 years. Let me see what you got. And I asked him one question. And he stumbled and tripped and fell over and ran through the bushes and jumped over the fence and never answered the question because he didn't know the answer.
Yeah.
And it basically was because it's a fundamental that they no longer teach. And it's the same thing on the note of teaching phonics. We know phonics because we learned it. I had to teach phonics to my kids. I teach phonics to my grandkids because they took it out of the school. They
Yeah.
do that. They put a word over
Now
the
they're
door.
putting it back because they know they did the wrong thing.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
no, not in Georgia. So they take a word and put it over the door and it says door. And then they expect the kid to just go door without any understanding of how that word came together. And in some places they are putting phonics back because you have kids graduate from high school can't read.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the emails I'm getting, I'm like, excuse me, let me call you. What are you trying to say? Because I don't understand the hieroglyphics here.
When my daughter Danielle was in first grade, I was looking at her notebook and I see like 3 random letters, K, Z, R, something like that. And I'm like, Danielle, what is that? And she said, cat.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that time they were doing something called whole language. Thank you, Lucy Calkins.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
basically, the teacher would give them the word, and the kids wrote down how they thought it should be spelled based on how it sounded.
Yeah. School.
Yeah.
That's
What's the point of
KOOL.
that, right?
Yeah.
It's that free language thing. Kids can write whatever they want.
And we should all understand it somehow. Yeah.
Well, I remember going to a lecture.
But that's why they can't read.
I went to a lecture at Columbia University by Lucy Calkins when she was speaking. And the thing that really drove me nuts, I keep in mind, I was a new teacher at this time. She said, when you have the kids write something, don't correct it.
What?
Drove me nuts too.
Well,
Because
they
everybody's
also
special.
changed,
Everybody's special, right? It's
Yeah.
well, they
right.
also changed
It'll bruise their
the
ego.
grading scale.
Mhm.
So now a passing grade is like 60. You can get a
Right.
D. You can get
That
a
wouldn't have
D.
happened in our day, we
Never. My
and
father
you
I
could
got
come
a
home with a
60.
60. I mean,
If I got a
you could
65, I felt like I failed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you did.
Even if I got a 99, I was told I failed to get 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that one too. If I didn't
Oh,
come
my
home with an
goodness.
A or a B, I had to listen to the whole lecture from my father. I'm like,
But that's
okay.
why we're here, because we survived and we're smart and we care and
Well, it was a different time
Successful.
too. Our parents
Mhm.
were more invested in our education and made sure certain things happened and didn't happen. I mean, now, of course, when I was in high school, I wasn't exactly the great kid, but it was not a thing where you couldn't come home. When you came home and said, "Well, I don't feel like graduating from high school," it didn't happen.
yeah,
It
very
was not-
true. Very
that was
true.
not even in the conversation.
Mm-mm.
It wasn't
If my
in your
father
head.
was
It wasn't even in your mind to do that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Monica.
so I got offers to go to like East Michigan and stuff like that for free, and I'm like, I don't go to East Michigan. My father's still mad. He's probably rolling over in his grave right now because I'm talking about it. But
Where did you go to college, Beverly?
I went to Morgan State University, and so I wanted to go to an HBCU because he went to one,
Yep.
and I said I want to do one too, but nobody gave me money. The ones that were giving me money were little small schools, and he was mad because East Michigan was like, here, take this money and come on in here and study our engineering. And I'm like, I'm not going to Michigan. That's out. It's cold.
It's cool.
Not doing that. He's like, it's cold in New York. No, I'm not going to Michigan. They have skin warnings in Michigan.
Oh my God.
Jay, before we, I screwed up the other day and I forgot someone. So Jay, I'm going to make sure I turn it over to you to give your introduction and story.
Okay, so let's see. As many of you know, I was blessed in this past March, to receive a kidney transplant. And I was able to meet the donor this past July. It was a live donation. Someone who was so altruistic, it's beyond belief. Married. He's 32, 4 children. The youngest is about now 7 months old. The baby was maybe 5 weeks old when I received my transplant. Wonderful people, unbelievable. And we're staying in touch. I'm trying not to be overbearing on that. I figure, he's young, making a life with his family. And, every so often I ping him and he responds back, and that's fine. He's up in Rochester, New York. Let's see what else. For the last 3 years or so, in fact, the week before my transplant, I was reelected to the Board of Trustees for the Village of Thomaston and Great Neck, where I live. So I am a Politico. Holy cow, who would have thought that when I was in high school? Although getting a degree in public administration from John Jay kind of sort of put me in that way, but that was, oh my Lord, how many more years ago was that? Almost over 40 years ago. Married, no children, blessed with 3 beautiful nieces, 3 wonderful great nephews, and a great niece who since March, 2.5 years old, figured out how to do a FaceTime call on her own with her old Uncle Jay to see how he's doing every day.
Great.
Unbelievable. And if Aunt Robin isn't with me, she goes, where's Aunt Robin? Clear as a bell. 2.5, now 2 3/4. Please don't forget
Going
the
on
extra
20.
quarter that's
Sounds
passed.
like she's going on 20. Yeah.
Yeah, 40. But holy cow. Got a nephew who's getting married in November. And my oldest great nephew will be bar mitzvahed in May. I'm trying to think what else is going on in my life.
And you're feeling good, right? You're feeling good?
I am. Most of the time, it's unbelievable the change because you don't know that you're not well until all of a sudden you're not unwell anymore. And then you suddenly realize
how sick you really were.
Right. And I was very lucky because when my doctor, who has since retired, had been my doctor for 30 years at least, told me that I needed to be on the transplant list. I didn't hesitate. He was even shocked. I did it within 3 weeks. And he said, usually everybody takes 6 months to decide if they want to do it or not. And I'm like, what am I waiting for? Time passes and it's crazy. So I was only on kidney dialysis for 15 months or so, 16 months. And so, like I say, I was very lucky. But because of all of that, here I am. And again, I'm blessed every day. Somebody who we went to school with, Mitchell, you and I went all the way through grammar school with him practically to high school, has reached out almost every day as well to see how I'm doing. Nice. People have been wonderful. It's just truly amazing. That's why I say I feel so blessed every day. Even during all of this, for me, the only good thing that came out of the situation in Israel is that I was able to reconnect with my family who are in Israel.
Really?
And that's something else that I feel blessed about.
Whereabouts? Where are they?
I will have to send you the name of the kibbutz. When I visited Israel after my master's, so that was 81, I want to say, they were north of Hadera in kibbutz Barkai, which is north of Tel Aviv. now I'm not familiar with the kibbutz that my cousin's daughter is on. And as far as the rest of the family, all I know from her and her nephew is that everybody is fine, but exactly where he is, I don't know. I'm sure that he is like your family in the army and based on age. So I don't hear from him. I hear from his aunt every so often. When I ping her, she responds. We keep in touch that way.
I know
But
Betty Ostrisky wanted to be on the call. I was with her yesterday. There's a picture of us out on the beach, but she's not feeling good today, and she apologized. But Cindy, she also has family in Israel. I just don't know exactly where, and she's been there many times. So I think if we ever get lucky enough to do a reunion in Israel, it'd be amazing, because we've done a few reunions in other locations. So for
My
those who
husband-
knew,
My husband's he knows every inch of this country. And every time somebody comes here from the States, they have the best time because we go everywhere. So when there'll be peace and where everybody wants to come, everybody's always welcome.
yeah,
And
he's definitely planning it. Yeah, yeah.
When
And
my
hopefully, you know,
when my
it
son
was a
came,
beautiful country.
yeah.
when my son
Yes.
came back from his birthright trip to Israel, pretty much as soon as he got off the plane at Kennedy Airport, he was just first thing he said is he wants to go back.
That's how it
Yeah.
is. That's exactly how it is. And it's a, my son, when he was living in New York, he always said, when my grandson gets to be in first grade, they're coming back to Israel because the education system and the social life for children here, bringing up children in Israel is so much better than in the States. Honestly, I'm really honest about it. And it's like where he wouldn't have it any other way. And that's what he did. He came back 2 years ago because his son started first grade. And that's something that, it's so much better here. It's, even with the way things are now, I still say it's a better place to live and it's a safer place to live than living in New York a lot of the times too. So
Yeah, a
Yeah.
friend of mine said to me that if you haven't been to Israel in 5 years, when you go back, it's a brand new country.
unfortunately now it's a brand new country that's not in great shape. It's all burned
Well,
down.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I got that. I do.
Yeah. But yeah.
All right.
Tell me
So
something. Is Alan Khan in the group at all? Has he ever, contacted?
Alan Khan.
Because I
You
was
mean Alan
Was he on
Khan?
the call the other day?
Alan Khan, yeah.
I'm
He
in
lives out
touch
on
with
the
his
island.
sister, of all things. She is
He was
Yeah.
on the Zoom
loosely
call
connected
Wednesday.
to my wife's
He
family.
was? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't seen him in a
The
couple of
Zoom
years.
call is posted. There's a link on our
Alright.
group. You can play
Okay.
back and we'll play back this call too.
No, I saw Alan a lot over the years. I saw him
Mhm.
quite a bit actually over
Yeah.
the years. We're in touch most of the time anyway. Yeah, so.
Well, and what we've been trying to do is, if we see that there's like a lot of people in a certain locale, like in Florida, we did a little a mini reunion down there back in April. If I get down there before my condo's being rented, so I won't be down there much this winter, but we were trying to get another group together. We did one in New York last January, once we got this thing started, and 12 people showed up. It was great.
Right.
And we
That's a
didn't know
lot
who
of
was going to
fun.
show up, so in fact, like Nancy Andresco lives like 4 blocks away from me, that was the first time I'd seen her in person. Ellen Crystal was there.
Right.
Ed
Wow.
Podesta came down. Jay, you were not there because you were not traveling, I think, at that.
No, I had just come down with COVID.
Yeah, that was a good reason not to be there. Yeah, and
Yeah,
so it was
really,
just
I didn't
fun
need
to
anyone
pull people
getting sick.
together,
Yeah.
So if there's like a group in California that ever want to get together, they are kind of spread apart. I mean, these are big states. We have somebody in Oregon. Bob Goldberg is in Oregon. He's coming to the reunion. He already signed up. Laura Donna, I thought was going to be on this call, but I don't see her. So she's in Italy and she's going to be coming. And and
wow.
Fred Gartner, if you remember Fred,
Yeah.
great guy. I saw him twice now in Florida. I try to catch up with him. He runs an orchestra. It's just beautiful, making music. And he ended up going to Europe this summer. I think they were performing somewhere, and he
Yeah.
met up with Laura Donna in Italy. Can you imagine? I mean, that's like he would never have done that if we hadn't been doing this reunion thing. So it lives on beyond May 17th, and it'll be great to stay connected and catch up with people. We're going to do a football, like a Sunday afternoon football game or something like that. We're not playing football. We're going to go watch the NFL. Karen and I were talking about that, and Alan, Crystal and I were talking about don't ask me. We did this fantasy football league. Never done that before, but our nephew lives in Australia, and we thought what a great way to stay connected with him because he's 13 hours away and everything else, but as almost as challenging as talking to Cindy. And we ended up all signing up for this fantasy football team. I am terrible. I will tell you, my team was rated an F. Never got an F in my life. You A and B students, right? Beverly was saying before, my team is rated an F. That's how bad my draft pick was. But hey, no money on it, so who cares, And we were just having fun. And so Alan said we should go and watch a football game together. It's like, what a great idea. So we're going to try to pick one in maybe November, maybe December, indoors, nothing outdoors in the cold, So we'll be posting that, we'll figure out somewhere in Suffolk County. I think we're going to go a little further out towards some of the folks that live a little further east of our old neighborhoods. So,
you had said that you want to do something about the people that passed away.
Yes.
Cindy Schreiben, I know she has her 2 children, her son and her daughter. They live out on the island. I don't know exactly where. I can try to find out from their Facebook group because I was,
Who is the name?
Cindy Schreiben.
Oh, why does that ring a bell? You know what? I'm going to ask Ross. He's the keeper of the lists, but I'm going to write them that she passed away.
Quite a few
If
years
you
ago.
can find their names, I could probably find their address.
The daughter's name is Jordan.
Right, Jordan and
Eden.
Iden, yeah. And they live with her sister, I believe, right now, or they live with her sister. Yeah.
And her sister, by the way, Monica, either still works or used to work for Chase as well.
Oh, yeah, you were in touch with her sister. Yeah, that's what you said to me. Yeah, okay, great.
Anything that you can send me, because being a realtor, I have access to the public records. I could probably figure out where they live and at least send a letter,
They're living with her. They're living with her sister, right?
Yeah. But
yes, on Long Island. I'll send you the information, Monica.
Okay,
great.
Good. Yeah, we don't want to.
Sherry Schreibman, and I don't know her married name.
We'll do this offline. We've got to do this offline and send me emails, text.
Yes, I'll send you a text or an email.
Yes.
No problem.
Cindy, thanks for putting you got another email. Let me get that second one.
I have 2 emails, so
Cindy W well, I'm recording this, so I can always come back to this too.
Oh, Janet Light also. Janet, she's alive and well. She lives in Basking Ridge in New Jersey.
Yes, she's on our Facebook group.
And yeah, I'm hoping that if she's coming to the reunion, my cousin lives there in Basking Ridge, New Jersey too. So one time when I was visiting my cousin, she came to visit me there also, which was great.
All right, well, you got to nag her a little bit because she hasn't come on our Zoom calls, and we want her to join.
Nag her a little bit and ask her if she's coming to the reunion, because if I come, I'll probably stay in Basking Ridge.
Yeah,
and I can come with her or something
like
that.
I didn't
That'd
think
be great. About that.
Yeah,
that's an idea. That's good. I'll tell Janet about that too. All right,
so
great.
My committee is good at nagging people, but we need more people. We got to widen the net here.
I'll talk to Janet about it.
And I don't want to be the one, nagging all the time. Yeah.
I'll talk to Janet about it, definitely.
Yeah. She's busy. I know she's chiropractor. What it was?
Something like that.
So she's working full time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that Janet Light you're talking? No, she's a podiatrist.
Mm-hmm. It was
Janet
weird
Light.
that she lives in the same town as my cousins, and
small world.
More
reason to come. Yeah.
Yes, the minute she heard I was there, she came. And there's this woman that gives lectures at at the conference that I'm going to next month. She's a pathologist, and one day I saw on my cousin's Facebook that she's her friend, and I said, "Why are you her friend?" And so she said, "Yeah, we play tennis 3 times a week. We're best friends." And this woman, I see her every year, and it's like it's so weird that the world is so tiny.
Isn't it something? Yeah. All right. Well, any connections, just don't hesitate to message me on Facebook, send me an email, text, just, especially now that I'm rehabbing, I have time for this kind of stuff. So I'm doing a lot of PT, but I'm basically home. Right, Jake? We know what that's like,
yes.
Stuck at home. But Jay, as soon as I'm better, I'm coming up to visit you because I want to look at your crepe myrtles and I want to talk about how to trim them for the spring. And anyone who's in the South, if you've got ideas about how to fix my crepe myrtle bush, you'll
send me a picture.
Be asking for that. Yeah.
I got a green thumb somewhere.
Oh, good.
I got I just put some crepe myrtles out. They'll do good in the winter here. But my cousin, I went out and did hers, and they were all over the place. I'm like,
I watch a lot of videos on how to prune them.
Yeah, I'm like,
I want to hear it from the real
there's a
person
way
who's
you
down
have to
there.
do it. So,
But like I told you, Monica, with the crepe myrtle, when you cut it like you did, it takes a year or two for them
For it
to
to come
really
back.
regrow and bloom because the blooms only come on old wood.
right.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
I
I
got
just-
good blooms this year, but I just want to not screw it up, you know.
Well, my
sign off
gardener's
without
the one who
saying-
trims mine, so don't come to me.
Well, I just want to look at it. Yeah.
All
Anyway,
right.
enough talk about gardening.
I didn't want to sign off without saying goodbye to everyone.
Mitchell, great to see you as always.
It was good
Yeah.
to see you, Mitch.
Yeah,
Hopefully
I
we'll
gotta
do this
go
again
too.
soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have a
Cheryl,
wonderful day.
Great to have you, Cheryl. And
Thank you so much.
Not seen you before. This is wonderful.
All right,
Stay
we'll
in
see you in
touch, and I'm
touch.
going to keep recording everything. So I'll post it up
Sounds
later
great.
today.
Great.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.